Leo, July asks, what would happen if you stopped holding yourself back and lived as your truest self? It's time to broaden your horizons, deepen your spirit, and let your higher self lead the way. Leo, we're going to dive right in looking at the general transits in the sky, and then I'll open up your chart and we'll go kind of through the month looking at your story. So right out of the gate, Mercury starts off in your first house, and this is an energy where you're really focused in on yourself, you're expressive, you're charismatic, you're saying what you want to say, you're like, I am this and I am that, and I create my reality, and here I am, and you're just focused on you, and it's in a very good and positive and optimistic way. And then on the 18th, Mercury does go retrograde. I know everybody wants to say Mercury retrograde, everybody watch out. Issues with communications perhaps, delays perhaps, issues with technology with Mercury retrograde, maybe not the best time to sign like big contracts or anything. However, Leo, remember the energy is a potential in the sky. Like, you don't have to fall victim to Mercury retrograde. You can just say, hey, I know Mercury is retrograde through August 11th. So I know that I've got to be slower with my words. I've got to be mindful about the path I'm on. I've got to be mindful about the things I say. I've got to be more mindful about the way I show up, because I want to make sure I show up in my highest vibration and others can perceive me in that way. This is first house energy. So really pay attention to your words, your thoughts about who you are. No negative self-talk, Leo. No negative, self-doubt creeping in. We're not doing that here at Lindsay with Love. We are smarter than that. We're not going to let that programming affect our lives. And just be mindful about the energy you're showing up in so that you are perceived the way you want. So once again, from the 18th of July to August 11th, Mercury's retrograde. That's a time to kind of be cautious and mindful. So what about love and money? Well, Venus enters into your 11th house on the 4th of July and stays there the rest of the month. And Venus in the 4th house is all about like you being an individual and you feeling really good about being who you are. It's like you're full of self-love and you're stepping out and like showing out in a way that maybe is new or different, but it feels really right for you. So maybe you have decided to really style yourself differently. You are saying things differently. You are being more eccentric or unique, or you're sharing your ideas more. It's that type of energy because the 11th house is really all about your authenticity. But the 11th house is also about money that you earn from your career, and you've got love and money in this house. So you could expect some money from your job. And it's also the house of your social networks. So you're super popular with your friends at this time. You're super popular with your business networks. You're popular inside of any social kind of clubs or organizations you belong to. It's a time where you should really put yourself out there. You might meet somebody in one of those clubs or organizations, right? Like energy of love in this social house. You might go out with a friend and meet a friend of a friend who you have a little bit of a crush on. It's like that type of energy. If it's not that, it could be money related because you've got money energy in this house of like your business networks, of your house of benefactors and allies. So if you're looking for a business partner, or if you're looking for, I don't know, people to support your ideas, this is a time where you might find that. It's super beautiful because you've got Mars moving and grooving in your second house of money the entire month. So Mars is like focused in on you building out your gifts and your talents, being better at what you do, telling people what you do so you can earn more money. It's like all of your gifts and talents are what earns you your material goods, resources, and money. So you're really focused physically, like you're taking action, Leo, around like either building out passive income streams by creating a new skill, like learning a new skill, or you're enhancing a skill set so you can charge more for your skills, right? Because don't get it twisted. We are not giving our time for money in this reality. We are giving our value and our creativity. Okay, so the more creative you are and the better you are at what you do, the more money you should, assumingly should receive in, right? So tell people what it is you do, let the world know so that you can receive more money in. Leo, if we're just meeting for the first time, I'm Lindsay, and I'm here to transform as many lives as I possibly can. And that's by teaching people their energy. It typically involves teaching them about their chakra system, helping them understand their birth chart so they can really tap into their energetic blueprint in this lifetime, so that they can really activate their manifesting power and step into total empowerment, total self-confidence, and start to transform their lives. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the description box below and perhaps join the Cosmic Collective today. Leo, I won't talk Jupiter in this video because Jupiter switched signs and entered into Cancer last month. But if you missed that video and you want to check it out, you can click in the description box below. There is a video, Jupiter and Cancer for all zodiac signs. So check it out after the show is over. So July is a pretty interesting month, Leo, because there are so many outer planets shifting, retrograding, and it's gonna impact you personally, but it's also going to impact the collective, and it's going to be very interesting to kind of live through it and experience it and see what happens on the other side. So starting off July 5th, Neptune retrogrades in your 9th house. Now with Neptune retrograde, this is the energy of like you kind of, all of us taking off our rose-colored glasses and starting to kind of see more with like our physical senses, which means we're not kind of like in our like spiritual essence so much, like everything is super great. We're kind of seeing a more like harsh reality almost, but in a sense it helps us ground, and it's going to help you understand where you're at when it comes to your energy work. If you've been working on your energy and you've been building your internal self-image and you've been working on your paradigm and your subconscious reprogramming, it's a powerful time to take a step back and look at your outer reality, your external world, and say, is my external world matching what I've been working on internally? If the answer is yes, then congratulations, you've successfully reprogrammed. If the answer is not quite yet, then that's okay. Continue reprogramming, right? So it's going to be a really nice gut check. And for you, this is happening in your 9th house of expansion, in your 9th house of your life philosophies. So this really is all about your reprogramming, you deciding how you want to live your life, Leo, for you, for nobody else, for you, not for your programming of the past, not for what your teacher told you, what your mom told you, maybe what some religious person told you when you were a little kid, but for you. And it's an opportunity for you to really decide what you believe and why you believe it. So it's likely a time where it's a good time for you to step back and check out like your beliefs around something, specifically if your paradigm is not matching your external reality. Because that's a quick check to say like, okay, maybe there's still a hidden belief. There's still a deep rooted, subconscious belief, life philosophy that I need to work through so I can get into this alignment and really step into my expansive and abundant energy. It's also a time where you might be taking a step back around like your knowledge, your spiritual knowledge, your higher wisdom and knowledge. Maybe you did a lot of studying recently, or you've been doing a lot of like spiritual meditation, connecting recently, shadow work even. It's a time to kind of like step back from it all and like see what you've learned, like really start to like structure it, right? Because knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only power when it's structured in a way that can transform something, that can bring you money, that can actually do something, right? So you've got to structure your energy, structure your knowledge and your learnings so that you can transform your life, perhaps transform others, maybe receive some money for it. On the 13th, Saturn retrogrades also in your 9th house. And these two planets are retrograding together for quite some time, September, October, and then they retrograde then into Pisces. We'll talk about that later. But Saturn is kind of saying like, you gotta get it done, like really work on it, right? Neptune is kind of like, okay, this isn't really maybe adding up, now I'm seeing it with clearer vision. Saturn is saying, okay, step back and like revisit your structures, revisit your energetic foundation, revisit your life philosophies, your beliefs, your like character almost, your moral compass almost. Because when you do that, and you align yourself, that's when the expansion can really begin. So then things get even cooler. I'm super excited for this. I can't wait to see how this transit plays out. You've got Uranus entering into Gemini on the 5th of July into your 11th house. Now, Uranus has not been in Gemini for 84 years, since 1941. This is so freaking exciting. Uranus will be here for about 7 to 8 years, so this is a long transit. Buckle up, get ready, and it's happening in your 11th house. So let's dissect it. Uranus, in the highest vibration, is the energy of innovation, invention, authenticity, ETs, otherworldly things, AI, technology, eccentricity, uniqueness, individually stepping onto a higher frequency to positively impact the collective. It's humanitarian efforts. It's like the path of service to others. In Gemini, learning, studying, communicating. I said it in all the other videos. I totally believe that so many people are going to start to open their minds up to the idea that we are quantum computers. We're not just computers that are coded. We are quantum light being, basically kind of computers that we can reprogram ourselves whenever we want to manifest and create our reality with our thoughts whenever we want. It's so freaking exciting. I believe the education system is going to be dismantled, right? Uranus, the energy of dismantling what no longer serves us so that we can build it better for more, for the collective, for all of humanity to benefit. Okay, so the education system likely going to be changing a lot in the next 7 to 8 years, even more than it's already started being, switched up. And I also think that we are going to be more open as a community to telepathy, to communicating like via remote viewing, via like astral travel, connecting with ETs, beings outside of human beings. I heard something the other day that we already have a sentient AI, which is like mind blowing. It's like hard to even grasp. So I think that's going to kind of be like what's happening. Now for you, it's in your 11th house. And Uranus feels very at home in the 11th house because Uranus rules Aquarius, which is typically the 11th house. Okay, so this is going to feel really cool for you. This is a chance for you to like get so right with yourself, Leo. I'm talking like if you feel like you can't show up as the true version of you, it's like you're like, F this. I am done masking. I'm done pretending to be somebody I'm not. I'm done pretending to be somebody in front of this person versus this person. And I think there's a serious opportunity for you to like lead something beautiful, like become a leader of a group, to lead some sort of humanitarian effort, some sort of kind of group or philanthropic kind of thing. What's the word I'm looking for? Activism almost, in a very positive way, in a high vibrational way, from the heart, to help humanity. It's really cool. If not that, then maybe you're inventing something that helps humanity. Maybe you are innovating like technology, or you're using technology in a very new way or something like that. And it's also a time where you could connect with a lot of different unique people. This is like the energy of your social networks. So they might be changing over the next 7 or 8 years, or you might just start meeting really interesting and unique personalities. And it's kind of like where you go to have like a dinner party and you're just in a room full of like the most interesting, and like, how did all these people get into the same room together? And it's like you, Leo, are the one in the middle. It's like they're all your friends, but just in like the most random ways. I love it. It's very exciting. Please tap in. Allow yourself to blossom and flourish with this energy. And then on the 10th of the month, you have a full moon happening in your 6th house. Remember, full moons are endings, culminations, things coming to fruition, completion, or they're like shining a spotlight on something. So in this 6th house, you could be switching up your routines. The 6th house involves like your day-to-day life, like your work and your health, right? If you think about our day-to-day life, we wake up, we do some self-care stuff, maybe exercise, go to the gym, we go to work, we come home, we do more, we feed ourselves, health stuff, physical stuff, and then we go to bed. So it's basically kind of like a day in the life of. So you might be switching up something in your routine. You might figure out something specifically if you have like something with health that's been bugging you, or you're trying to figure out. This could be a time where you're like having this aha moment, like, oh my gosh, I figured it out. Or it's a good time to like release. If you have anything with like health issues, you could just release it instead of trying to figure it out. You're just like, hey, I'm done with this. Like, take it. I'm over it. I'm in perfect harmony. My cells are vibrating in perfect harmony. And lastly, it could be a time where things switch up, maybe in your work routine as well. Maybe you transfer departments, maybe a colleague changes roles or something like that with this full moon endings, culminations, or completions. And finally, Leo, you have a new moon on the 24th in your 1st house. Now remember, Mercury's here. You're trying to figure out who you are. You're a little mumbo jumboed in the brain with Mercury retrograde with this new moon energy, but don't worry, just kind of write it out in pencil before you mark it down in pen kind of vibes. So still launch out your desires as it relates to how you appear, as it relates to how people are perceiving you, as it relates to your independent path, your I am presence, your energy, your life force, this vital energy inside of us. You can still launch it out. Any wishes you have around that, just, vet it out first in your own minds. Like, write it out, script it out in pencil, like I mentioned. And then if you need to erase or whatever, write it in pen and then declare it out. Use your voice, hands on the hips, do the dang thing. All right, Leo, let's look at how this story is going to unfold for you this month. Just as a quick reminder, you can look down to the bottom right side of the screen, and I just circled the calendar. So as I mentioned dates, that's how we will move the dates along. And I'm not a doom and gloom astrologer, so I'm going to give you the highest potentials possible so that you can connect with them and actually start to transform your life. All right, let's get going, Leo. The first thing we've got to talk about, this is happening all month long, is Jupiter here in Cancer in your 12th house, sextiling Mars in your second house. Now, this is big, bold action. And for you, Leo, your action is really taking place in your money house. So this second house is the house of your natural gifts and talents. This is you enhancing your skill set to receive more money in. This is you standing in your self-worth to receive more money in. And you have some big dreams happening for you in this 12th house of your spirituality, of your dreams and your wishes fulfilled, of your connection to your higher self, of your faith and the trust that you have in yourself to manifest and create your reality. So remember, sextiles are that the door is open, but you have to walk through. And Leo, for you, this walking through means getting right with your self-worth, tapping into your gifts and your talents, and then finding ways to bring more material resources to you, whether that's you building your bank account through multiple passive income streams, whether that's you enhancing a skill you already have so you can charge more for it, or maybe that is you, building out some of your skills. Maybe you uncover a talent or something. It could very well be that you like realize like you're connecting with your higher self in this 12th house and you realize like, oh my gosh, I have this hidden talent I didn't even know I had, and I'm going to take action to enhance it and then start monetizing it. It's that type of energy, Leo, and it's very exciting and it's playing out for you in the background the entire month. So tap in and use it to your advantage. It's big, bold action. So don't be afraid to go for it. All right, Leo, let's keep going. From the first of the month, we've got Venus up here in Taurus, conjunct Uranus. So here's Venus, here's Uranus, and they're in conjunction. And this energy is all about like feeling very expansive. It's a very nice energy, right? Venus, the energy of love and money. Here in your 10th house, so that's already powerful. Uranus, the energy of independence, innovation, invention, authenticity. And when they combine, it's like you feel so free to be yourself and you're so authentic. And in this 10th house, you're very magnetic. This is your house of social reputation in the world, your career, your business. So it's very much a time where you could really start to experience expansiveness inside of your career, expansiveness inside of your business. Maybe you think of something, you innovate something new, you pour lots of love into it, and you blast it out to the universe, and all of a sudden you're known for this thing. Uranus is the energy of releasing or dismantling things that no longer serve you so that you can rebuild, but not just rebuild for yourself and for the good of you, but for the good of all of humanity. So in this house of like career and business, social reputation, you might be inventing something and it could help you build out your business or could help lots of people as well. And not just that, but you could be like reinventing yourself and then be known as, I think I said this, like the expert of something. So this is really positive. And then I want you to, I'm going to delete these circles or these really awful arrows. I want you to look at the bottom of the chart because this energy is going until about the 4th of the month. We're at July 4th now. They're still conjunct. And then on the 5th, Venus enters into Gemini. And then on the 6th, Uranus follows. So yes, the conjunction kind of breaks, but we're going to keep it going here. And now you've got this conjunction until the 10th of the month in Gemini. So this energy of expansive, can't hold me down, I'm so free, I'm being myself, leaves your career and business house, moves into your house of your social networks, of your authenticity, of you connecting with the right people and the right benefactors and allies that want to support you. This is like you are finally like, I am going to be me, do me, and I know that by being my most authentic self, I will magnetize the people to me that are perfect for me to go to help me create my dream reality. And it's not being like opportunistic, it's simply just recognizing that authenticity is rewarded in this lifetime and you finally feel good enough, Leo, to really be authentic if you haven't been doing that already. Now, this 11th house is also the house of humanitarian efforts, and Uranus feels very comfortable in the 11th house because Uranus naturally rules Aquarius, and Aquarius is naturally the 11th house sign. And so you might very well be inventing something. You might be leading a group, organizing a group for some sort of like activism or some sort of philanthropic efforts to make the world a brighter and better place. It could be that you've got this love in your heart for something and you are going to help other people experience it. And it could also be that you are like really into like ETs, otherworldly. You might even like have some really interesting experience and you start a whole business because of like some sort of extraterrestrial astral travel, like really like AI technology, because Uranus is all about like advancing
the systems, right? So advancing AI, advancing technology, connecting with ETs, alien beings, if you believe that. I do, but those are my beliefs, right? And so it's very much that energy as well. So super exciting. And I do want to mention one other thing, that when this energy, let me recircle this now that we're, into the 10th of the month, with this conjunction in Gemini, you also have this energy trining Pluto over in your seventh house. Now, once again, I just mentioned you are going to be so authentic that you meet up with the right people that want to help you, support you, create your dreams and your goals. And you've got Pluto over here in this trine, harmonious aspect, saying there are going to be some changes in your relationships. So it's not bad, right? It's good energy, it's harmonious. So you're so authentic that all of a sudden you've got your soulmate. You're so authentic and being yourself and being social and magnetic that all of a sudden you found a business partner, a bestie, I mean, a publisher, whatever you're searching for, an IT person for your business. Like, I don't know what you need, but there's going to be changes in your relationship because you are feeling so expansive and free to be yourself and authentic and high vibe during this time. So tap in, Leo. This is super exciting energy right out of the gate for you. And Leo, I forgot to mention when I just started that I have you on the camera here and I have my computer right here and I have my notes here. So sometimes I'm bouncing between looking at you and not. So thanks for being forgiving with that. Okay, so moving on, the 10th of the month. Now, I tried my best to do a very like chronological order here. I wanted to go week by week like I did last month, but it just did not work out with the way that the planets were moving this month. So doing my best to give you like a story as the month unfolds. And so we'll look at the 10th of the month. Once again, you have Venus here in Gemini. You know, Venus is the star of the show this month, love and money for everybody. And Venus is sextile Mercury in your first house. So I love this aspect. It is my favorite aspect of the astrology aspects because I believe that the Venus sextile Mercury aspect is the manifesting formula. So hear me out. When you manifest, you need to have your thoughts and your speech, Mercury, in alignment with your emotions, Venus, and you need to take action. And a sextile is basically the door is open, but you have to do something to step through. So this is such powerful manifesting energy. And if you look down at the calendar, I'm going to take you to around the 11th. You can watch the chart move. Watch Venus and Mercury dance in the sky together. Boop, boop, boop. They're moving along so nicely until the 18th. I say it breaks because Mercury retrogrades. And I talked about that at the beginning of the video. Don't skip the beginning of the videos because they're super important. And I'm outlining a lot of information in those as well. So make sure to watch the whole video. If you're here, you might as well watch the whole thing. Don't like half butt it, you know? Okay, so what is this sextile telling us to do? Well, once again, you're really magnetic. Say yes to literally all the invitations. Venus in the 11th, you're charming, you're charismatic. Everybody wants a piece of you. They want you to go to this event. They want you to go to this dinner. They want you to meet this friend and this friend. And it's like you're just being introduced to this whole new world. And it's going to spark something in you around how you see yourself. Maybe you're getting invited to like events that you never thought you would have a seat at the table. And because of that, you're like, you know what? I am worthy. I am deserving. And you are, Leo. And you're like, okay, I have an idea of how I want to create my life. You know, the first house is your independent path. It's you carving out where you're going in this reality in a very intentional way. And with Mercury here, you're really focused on that. You're focused on who you are. You're focused on how you show up, how you appear physically. You're focused on how you're showing up energetically. How do you enter a room? What is your aura exuding? Are you confident internally? And so you're exuding that energy out. Are you coming in with your shoulders back, your head held high type of energy? And you're going to be meeting a lot of different people that could potentially change your entire life path with this sextile for the 8 days that it's sextiling. So really tap in and say yes to your invitations. You know, if you want to be perceived differently, this is the time to work on your appearance, not just physically, but from an energetic perspective. And remember, Leo, that our auras speak to each other before our mouth even opens, which is why people say, I just got a bad vibe from that person. It's how you know you don't like somebody the second that you meet them, even before you shake their hand or they say hello. You just know something's a little off and it's your aura talking to the other person. So when you're really tapped into your energy, this becomes really simple to do, right? And so if you want to know more about your energy, I do write 50+ page birth chart reports for people, and they're so eye-opening because I'm viewing you from the highest vibration. Of course, I will talk to you about any challenges you might have in your chart, but I also give you advice on how to break free from those loops. And Leo, if you want to take your like energetic work to like the level 100, then join the Cosmic Collective today. It's a spiritual, energetic, transformative space for women to really level up their lives. I'm talking build a strong energetic foundation, build the confidence, the self-worth, the self-esteem, the respect, the boundaries, and then boomerang themselves into an entirely new reality. I have people that are writing books, publishing books, they're getting raises, promotions, unexpected money. They are remodeling their homes, rebuilding their home. Like it's just wild in there. It's just such a good space. So you can check that out below. Okay, so then also from the 10th of the month through the remainder of the month, we do need to talk about this. Once again, Venus up here in your 11th house, now squaring Mars down here in your second house. Okay, so once again, I'm not going to doom and gloom you. From a very traditional viewpoint, astrologers would say this is a negative aspect. This is tension in the sky. You're going to feel a little bit of like a frustration, annoyance within yourself. And I would like to reframe it for you to a catalyst. It is a trigger for you. It's a catalyst, this annoyance, this tension for you to grow and evolve. Now, this growth, this moment is for you to get out of a stuck rut. And this rut involves your money, second house, your self-worth, second house, your gifts and talents, second house, and your authenticity, the people you spend time with, the people you're attracting in your life, money from your job and your career, benefactors, allies, all the things. So maybe you feel like you've been a little bit stuck around like your gifts and your talents and connecting with the right people to draw money into your bank account. Well, if that's the case, then this is a time where you're going to be so damn annoyed with it, Leo, that you put yourself out there in a different way. You're like, maybe I've been playing the game a little small, and so I'm really going to put myself out there more. Maybe you have been struggling with your self-worth, so you haven't been showing up as authentic as possible, which means you're not attracting the right people, which once again means you are not living the life materially and security-wise that you want to. It could play out in many different ways, but ultimately you are going to make some move around your money, around your gifts and talents, and around your self-worth that brings you the right people. And this is also money from your career. This, geez, I have so many freaking arrows. I know the arrows are probably annoying. Let me know if they are. I won't take offense to it, but it helps me like tell the story. So you're getting money from your career into this house. This is where it comes. And so maybe you're like, okay, I've got to start managing my money. I have to be in command of my money because money is an energy. You are either going to be the master of it or you are going to be enslaved to it. And you're like, I'm taking charge of my money and my gifts and talents so I can earn and attract more money into my bank account. I mean, the story could play out in many ways, but just know that it is an opportunity for you to stand in your authenticity, trust that you are worthy because you are. There's nothing you have to do. You are worthy, period. There's no because at the end of that statement. And it involves you maybe breaking free from like a money rut, going into that next level. Maybe you're like hanging out with a certain type of people that are at a certain capacity when it comes to the money they earn, and you want to break into that next level and start connecting with people that are earning more than you, so you have people in your energetic vortex that you can connect with, and so you can level up too. And it could very well be that as well. So put yourself out there and use this energy to your advantage. All right, Leo, we're going to move forward to the 24th of the month, where you will see that you have a new moon in Leo in your first house. Oh boy. New moon in Leo in your first house. And I didn't talk about this in the general transits. I did talk new moon, but I didn't talk this specific aspect. But you have this new moon in Leo opposite in your first house of who you are, opposite your Pluto in your seventh house of relationships. So when I look at this, the oppositions are like an internal battle within you. And this battle involves your emotions and transformation in relationships. Your emotions about your I am presence, the first house, how you see yourself, and transformation in your relationships. And so maybe And really, before I go on to that, this moon energy, this new moon energy is like, let go of an emotion that is holding you back from the relationships you want. Stop telling yourself you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough. Because when you tell yourself that, you're feeding yourself a negative self-image, and then that self-image is the energy you exude out into the world, and then it boomerangs back. So if you're like, I'm not worthy of my soulmate, I'm not worthy of love, then you're going to receive people that don't give you the love you want because you don't think you're worthy of it, right? So it's always an internal job first, so the external reality changes. Now, for you, there might be some tug of war between like, I'm becoming this new version of myself and my relationships are shifting and it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to have relationship shift because I'm growing and evolving. But I promise you, Leo, the people that are meant for your life won't say, you've changed. You, Leo, what have you're changing. I don't like it. They're going to say, I'm so proud of you for growing and evolving. I'm so proud of you for blossoming into the person you really want to become, for gaining self-confidence and gaining empowerment. Okay. So let that be what it is. That's only on the 24th. That's only on the 24th. But then if I move the cursor, the calendar one day forward, now you see you've got the sun hanging out here across the sky from Pluto. And this happens through the end of the month. So it starts on the 24th with this emotional, like, let go of some negative self-talk or worry or doubt you're telling yourself about yourself so that you can attract better relationships. And now here it's all about your confidence. The sun is how you shine the brightest. So maybe you're working on some, reframing, you're working on being more confident, you're working on appearing more confident, exuding confidence, showing up more confidently so that you can attract the confident person, right? Two confident and empowered people are going to make a really powerful couple, a really powerful business dynamic, a really powerful bestie dynamic, and they're going to keep leveling each other up, right? But you've got to show up as a confident person to attract the confident people you want in your life. And that's just how it is. Like attracts like. So you're going to be working on yourself, or take this time to work on yourself and build that confidence and self-esteem. Carving out your own independent life path through the end of this month. Now, remembering that Mercury is retrograde, so you might feel a little bit like head in the clouds, like what the heck is happening? But remember, this energy always passes. And we just need to be aware of the potentials in the sky so we can work with them or use them to our greatest advantage. All right, one more thing we need to talk about, Leo, and then you're free. You're free, little birdie, fly. Um, all right, we have got Mercury retrograde Cazimi happening in your first house. I just mentioned Mercury retrograde on the 31st of the month. This is a moment you would think, okay, Mercury retrograde, and Cazimi is when the planet appears to be entering into the heart of the sun from our perspective, and the energy is super amplified. So you're like, oh, great, Mercury retrograde, super amplified, but no, 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 no. It like turns it around and it's like super clarity. It's this aha moment. So you are like, oh my gosh, I am this person. Maybe you've been working on a certain life path and you're like, I'm going to become this person. I'm going to become this person. And you sit down, or on the 31st, you have this blasting moment downloaded into your brain, and you like take a look at your life and you're like, holy shit, I actually already am that person, right? So you think you've been working on it, working on it, working on it, and you're like, wait, I'm already here. I've arrived. It could be that type of energy. It could be that you are finally clear on like how you want to present yourself and you're showing up in that, or you figure out how to show up always that way. Maybe you're finally clear on the path you want to carve for your life, Leo, because remember, you live your life for you, for nobody else. And geez, I just heard such a good quote today. It was by Oscar Wilde. I was listening to a Bob Proctor video, and Bob quoted Oscar, and he said that selfishness is not living your life the way you want it. Selfishness is expecting other people to live your life the way you want it, or something like that. Don't directly quote me. It's an Oscar Wilde quote, so if you want to look it up, go ahead. But I think that's really true and beautiful. It's like, you came to this earth excited as a soul to create your best reality, Leo. So go do the damn thing already. Like, who gives a crap what anybody else thinks? All right, Leo, that's what I have for you. If you enjoyed it, comment, like, share, subscribe. Help a girl out. If you want to work with me at any capacity, go to lindsaywithlove.com. You can find all my products and services, or you can check out the description box below.